Have you ever been in one of these shadow cruisers? Yeah, neither have I. Come on, let's go check it out. Hello and welcome to Me After Kids. We're back here again north of Denver at Miracle RV. They've been gracious enough to have us back now for the third time. And today I want to check out this little shadow cruiser. Because the future plan for me and her is to maybe possibly in a few years do some camp hosting, and we're not going to live out of the back of a truck camper, so we're kind of trying to come up with an idea of what we're going to want to live out of when we're traveling the country. So we're going to check this thing out. Let's go look around the outside and look at some of the stuff the thing has to offer. It's just a little dual axle camper. I really like the stairs, to be honest with you, because these just fold up right inside the door when you close the door. I really like that feature because you don't have to mess with those flimsy little metal stairs you got to either pull out or push back in. So those right there, those are pretty cool. Nice and sturdy and stable. This is the ID 180 MBS. It's got a real nice screen door. They have that locked up right now, but that's a storage unit where it goes up underneath the bed where you can put all of your stuff that you don't want laying around in the camper or in the back of your truck. But look at this awning. I mean, that thing runs pretty much the whole length of the camper. That'll put some shade off for sure. And also has these real nice outdoor speakers. I don't know if you saw that, but those were push button levelers for your jacks to go down. I mean, that's nice right there. And here's something else that's a life changer. That electric front jack. Man, I tell you, when I had my bumper pulls, that's the first thing I changed out every time. You know, Harbor Freight's got them on there pretty cheap, but that one right there looked pretty good. It's one of those deals you want to spend all your time cranking that thing up and down, or you just want to hit a button. I'd rather just hit a button. Satellite cable hooked up. Charging cord, city water connection. And I think, but not sure, that is how you flush the tanks. Here's your black water and your gray water drains. They're on the right side. And there's your drains for your tanks on the inside. Now we're going to come in here and talk about it because we are right next to the highway and there's a lot of noise and you probably can't even hear me out there. But I'm going to look at this bed. Look at this. So apparently this is your couch that folds down into a bed where you take one of these mattresses and slide it over that. Look how big that bed would be once it's all down and made up like that. But my biggest deal is having to do that every day. Because if you're kind of living out of it, or if you're spending an extended amount of time, you sure don't want to have to keep putting your bed back up. Now, I guess that little part of the bed back there is big enough for one person. But I can tell you, if I lay that way, I'm going to have to be in a fetal position the whole time. So I'm going to have to be laying this way, like it's designed. But you also have these nice little pull-up tables where you can set your drinks and your food and stuff like that. Not too bad. Got decent amount of wardrobe closets on both sides. It's got good little cubbies up here for your nighttime stuff. And over the head closets. It's got one fan vent for the roof. And this one comes with an AC. So that's pretty nice, especially if you're traveling down to the southern states where you really need it. There we go. Now that right there is a little slide out that you saw from the outside. So it's your little dining room area, and of course this will drop down and make into another little bed as well when the grandkids come over. Yeah, that's plenty of space to... Yeah, pretty comfortable little benches too. Not bad. Big windows. I really like the windows right here. Now for a small camper, I'm really impressed with all the cabinet space it has here. I mean, they really utilize all this back in here. I mean, that'd be a dead area, and look at the size of this refrigerator. I mean, that's almost as big as the one I got in my apartment. Nice microwave. 3-burner stove. With an oven. Breaker box. More cabinets. Man, this thing has got cabinets everywhere. Look how big this sink is. I am a sucker for a big sink. You know, the one kicker is all these little bathrooms in these campers. You can't have everything that you want, and you can't have all the comforts of home. I'm just looking at the close proximity of the toilet to the cabinet there. But it's really nice. I mean, if you're gonna spend this kind of money, you've got to try everything out. And this is one of the things that I always encourage all my buddies and family and friends or whoever, you know, that when they're buying a camper, I said, go sit on the toilet. I said, find out where you're going to put your toilet paper. There's a little cubby back in here where it goes. I said, and go through the motions and see how hard it's going to be. And this right here would be tough. This bathroom would pretty much be a deal breaker for me. I mean, this knob is in my side, this is on my leg. I can't, it's just not enough room. Not for me. And then I always tell them, stand in the shower. Take the little thing and act like you're taking a shower and see how much room you have. Now this shower right here is very spacious. I really like this shower. Not so much the shower head, but that's easy changed out, but it's got a lot of room. I can move around in here. You can squat down, you can wash your feet. Yeah, this shower is big enough for me, especially with this little sunroof that they've got up here. I do like the fact it's got a thermostat. So that means we have almost like central air and heat. Got it from the top and from the bottom. So that's a really cool deal there. And I just noticed this, but it's kind of weird how this is all curved up here on the top, almost like an Airstream or something. Here's a neat little feature right here. They got little speakers down in here underneath the cabinet. Yeah, that's kind of cool. All right, I'm gonna take a look at the control panel. So we're battery fresh, auxiliary, our slide, awning, water heater, cabin lights, auxiliary lights, awning lights, cap lights. So the cap lights are the little running light strips on the front right there, and they're really neat for when you're camping in the dark area and you flip those on. You can actually kind of see how you can walk around the camper in the front. But one of the things that irritates me is people will put lights all over the camper, and then they'll go to a dark area and they will just leave them on all night long, and it's just this huge glow, and it kind of robs you from the stars sometimes. But each their own. I find that the space all right here is big. It's very attractive to me. It gives you plenty of room to walk around. By somebody who's in the kitchen, you're not just constantly having to move out of the way to get back in. Now the only thing about that is the bathroom door being right here, and if someone was in the refrigerator, you'd have to wait, or if they're standing right here and you just fling this door open, you're going to knock them out. But I mean, that's what communication's for, right? And I wanted to touch on a couple of things here. You know, when you're shopping for a camper, and you're never going to get 100% of what you want. You're going to be lucky to get 80%. I was talking to the sales guy a little bit ago, and he was talking about these people that have been shopping for a camper for 6 years because they never did find the 100% what they want. Their idea, and I'm kind of the same way, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'm going to need exactly what I want. But campers are about compromise. You have to compromise something. And if you don't mind the close quarters while you're sitting on the toilet, but everything else works for you, then this camper's for you. But if you have a problem with the bed and how you have to put it down and put it back up every time, this camper ain't for you either. But if you're looking for space and you don't care that the bed needs to be put up every day, and you don't care about the other little things, and this camper gives you the space. I mean, this is pretty sweet. It's big, it's open, I really like it. And another thing that turns people off is stuff like this right here. I mean, that's just a piece of loose trim. And when they build these, no matter what manufacturer it is, you can get the highest manufacturer that you can think of. They're going to use the same type of wood with the same staples to staple this stuff together. And when a camper sits and you have so many people going in and out of it, and things start to come apart just a little bit, especially when it sits out in the heat and it's not covered or anything like that. So the idea is if you like this camper, then the RV dealership's going to make it right. You're going to do a walkthrough on it. You're going to tell them exactly what's wrong. You're going to buy it. You're going to take it out, and it's going to have great warranties on it where you can bring it right back in. You can have the little stuff fixed. Because I can tell you, you're not going to find everything when you're just looking at it. You got to get out and use it. Then you're going to find things that are wrong, like this right here. If I'm going to spend over $40,000 on a camper, I'm going to want that fixed. And Miracle RV will fix it. I mean, all you got to do is just have a little checklist to go through and write everything up, and they'll take it in, they'll do a make ready on it, they'll get this thing just like it was showroom quality, and then boom, you're out the door. Once you get out there and you start figuring out these little things don't rotate right, or they break as soon as you touch them, then all you got to do is bring it back. And they'll keep it for about a week. They'll fix all your little problems. You'll have a full list of that. And then you're satisfied. You walk out the door, then you have a good camper. But then it's up to you on how you store it and how you maintain it. Because you got to remember, when the manufacturers make campers, they have to make them as light and as cheap as possible. Because if they were to make this like a house, then you would have to have an F550 to pull this thing down the road. Just this little camper, because you'd have the thick walls with the thick insulation. You'd have, the real trim. You'd have all that stuff. You wouldn't have any glue in here, and everything adds weight. So to be able to pull this little 18-footer with a half-ton truck without a bunch of sway bars and low distribution bars and things like that, they have to make it lightweight. And so they got to use lightweight material. So just keep that in mind. If you've never looked for a camper before, I mean, yeah, it may take you a while to find the one you want, but in the end, give the dealership a chance to make what's right on the camper you finally pick before you just walk away from it. We got a GPS router in this thing, man. What are they gonna think of next? And that's what I like. I like going into these campers and seeing all the new technology. And for clarity purposes, these camper manufacturers do not sponsor me, nor does Miracle RV. I do this of my own free will and accord because I love campers. I love going through them. I love looking at them. I like touching them. I mean, I'm a fanatic, you might say. And one day I might be able to make some money at it. Oh, it's got this little privacy curtain. And even though I know the cost of this camper, I don't really want to tell you because you just never know what the dealership incentives they're going to give you or cash back or anything like that. So, or just trying to get it off their lot. So if I tell you something scares you away, then you may not even want to come look at it. But I can tell you, give the dealership a chance. Come take a look at it and walk through it, play with it, sit down on it, touch it, do everything you need to do to see if this camper is right for you. Is it for me? No. It could be for you. Who knows? I think if you were just a couple and the bed thing was a problem, then just leave the bed down. You don't need it up all the time because you've got the seating right behind me here. The kitchen, that's a great deal for me. I mean, that would be probably 50% of it right there just because of how much room you have, how much cabinet space they gave you with the 3-burner stove, the microwave, the vent hood, all that good stuff. That's a seller for me. Now, I don't see a TV in this particular model, but I'm sure that you can get one. Here's your hookups for it right here. So I'm sure that right in there is the boards that you need to mount your TV onto. Then you can swivel it out and angle it towards the bed. But other than that, that's about it for the Shadow Cruiser. I mean, great little camper. If you're just looking for a starter camper or something just for you and her, and you just never know, man, this one might be it. And stay tuned, we got a lot more campers coming up this winter that we want to tour. We want to even get in some of these big fifth wheels, man. I want to show you some of those. I've got one sitting out at my ranch out in West Texas right now that's just rotting down, but it's a beautiful camper. And hopefully one day I can call that my second home as well. But the technology and space they put in those big fifth wheels, man, that's amazing. And if you know of a camper or something that you've been looking at online that you want me to try to find and go review and go through it and kind of show you what I think about it, man, just leave me a comment below and I'll be more than happy to. Like I said, I love doing this anyway. So that's about it for this video. Always remember, leave it better than you found it. And if I don't see you on the trail, I'll see you down the road.